Presidents of France and Brazil launched a diesel-powered submarine at a shipyard outside Rio de Janeiro.
An exclusive Ipsos Euronews poll reveals EU defence comes in 7th in the list of voter priorities in the lead-up to June's EU elections.
Experts slash German economic growth forecast from 1.3 to 0.1% growth. Six people missing when a bridge in Baltimore collapsed are presumed dead.
You can go to sleep in Brussels and wake up the next day in Prague on the newest European sleeper service that goes through Berlin and Amsterdam.
Ukraine's fast-growing defence industry is helping repel Russia from its territory. The Ukrainian government earmarked nearly $1.5 billion this year to buy locally manufactured weapons, but frontline soldiers still wait for arms.
Снарядів завжди не вистачає. Ну, вони в нас є, але завжди мало. Потрібно більше.
Ukrainian soldiers say that in order for an artilleryman to work, they need a minimum of 100 shells per day. To fix the problem, large volumes of weapons are now being purchased from privately owned factories.
Ми виробляємо боєприпаси для 120-ї міни, 82-ї і 60-ї. Також пытаемся мы сейчас, или не пытаемся, налаживаем производство двигателей для дронов и боеприпасы для дронов.
New producers are eclipsing an industry traditionally dominated by state-owned companies. Today, about 80% of the defence sector is in private hands.
Ми дуже активно працюємо над нарощуванням обсягів виробництва, ми спілкуємося щоденно з замовниками нашими, тому ми, скажімо так, розуміємо вплив, який та техніка має на хід бою, на хід війни.
A lack of manpower and bureaucratic red tape has been identified as hurdles slowing production.
Якщо з такими темпами поставок буде БК, то будуть готуватись вони вже до війни. Будуть копати траншеї, такі як ми, і будуть помирати хлопці на війні. От і все.
As the war continues into its third year, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Presidents of France and Brazil launched a diesel-powered submarine. It was built in Brazil using French technology at a shipyard outside Rio de Janeiro. This is the third submarine launch as part of the joint effort. It is part of a pro-Sub program launched by Nicolas Sarkozy and Lula da Silva in 2008.
À peine 16 ans de cela, ce site d'Itaguaï n'était que forêts et marécages. C'est désormais l'un des chantiers de construction de sous-marins parmi les plus modernes du monde et le seul dans l'hémisphère sud. Cette vision géopolitique qui est la nôtre, celle d'être des grandes puissances qui coopèrent au service d'un ordre international et de ses équilibres, qui refusent la partition du monde, qui refusent la vassalisation à laquelle on voudrait parfois nous attraire, c'est cela qui nous lie.
Macron is the first French president to visit Brazil in 11 years. The two countries announced a plan to invest 1 billion euros in the Amazon. The money will be spread over the next 4 years to protect the rainforest.
Sustentabilidade, a produção agropecuária, a produção industrial.
War is at the gates of Europe. European countries will be called on to invest more resources into the construction of an integrated EU defence capacity. Yet, EU citizens are lukewarm to the idea of one big European military structure. An exclusive Ipsos Euronews poll reveals EU defence comes in 7th in the list of voter priorities in the lead-up to June's EU elections. The defence industry has increased its production since the war in Ukraine began. Only 47% of the electorate want future EU lawmakers to prioritise a common defence above all else. Most of these voters are Portuguese. For the 36%, it's not a priority, while the 17% is clearly against it. It's the Hungarians who are the least eager to have an integrated EU defence structure, with only 20% listing it as a priority, with 25% against. But it's not a case of Euroscepticism.
A common defense policy would involve financing the construction of an integrated military industry. In the EU, there are 27 different military doctrines and often different perceptions about risks and threats. And national interests don't always converge on security matters. At the same time, across the Union state and household finances are under severe strain. Against this background, the project of a common military structure seems too vague, too distant and too costly for the average voter, obviously depending on the party he supports.
The electorate of the Grand Coalition, European People's Party, the Liberal Democrats of Renew and the Socialists and Democrats are the main supporters of a joint EU defence, especially the EPP. Recent promises by the EU Commission to create a joint EU defence have been warmly welcomed by the European Parliament. The idea is gaining support from the European Conservatives and Reformers, made up of nationalists and ultra-conservatives.
A group of 5 leading German think tanks have slashed their economic growth forecast for Germany this year from 1.3% down to 0.1%. The group said that a slow recovery would begin in the spring, although it will be sluggish.
Die Wirtschaft in Deutschland ist angeschlagen. Eine bis zuletzt zähe Konjunkturschwäche geht mit schwindenden Wachstumskräften einher. In der lahmenden gesamtwirtschaftlichen Entwicklung überlagern sich also konjunkturelle und strukturelle Faktoren. Zwar dürfte ab dem Frühjahr eine Erholung einsetzen, die Dynamik wird aber nicht allzu groß ausfallen.
Europe's largest economy has struggled with energy costs soaring since Russia's invasion of Ukraine and stubbornly high inflation. The prospects appear better for 2025, with experts predicting growth of 1.4%. All 6 workers missing after a Baltimore bridge collapsed are presumed dead. Due to challenging conditions, the search and rescue efforts have been paused. A vessel hitting one of the bridge's supports led to the bridge collapse, causing the structure to fall into the water.
Based on the length of time that we've gone in this search, the extensive search efforts that we've put into it, the water temperature, that at this point we do not believe that we're going to find any of these individuals still alive.
Residents of Maryland are worried about the economic impact of the bridge collapse. Analysts say the incident will force vessels or their cargo to be rerouted, potentially creating delays for importers and raising costs.
The Beltway is going to be down for 4 years, but the main thing they got to do right now is get that shipping channel open, because you're going to punish Baltimore, the cruise liners, Caterpillar Heavy Equipment, Mercedes-Benz, our coal export, everybody. That's our biggest moneymaker in the whole state, right there, the Port of Baltimore. And now your moneymaker is shut down.
Transportation Secretary said it was too soon to estimate how long it will take to clear the channel, as all vessel traffic into and out of the port is suspended until further notice.
Several European countries are beefing up security after the Moscow attack last week. France has raised the national alert system to maximum level. Since mid-March, 130 French secondary schools have been under threat of attack. The French are now faced with an increase in checks and searches around crowded places, as well as places of worship and schools.
Favorable, on n'est jamais favorable, c'est toujours des libertés en moins, mais bon, on est obligé.
3,000 soldiers were deployed and a further 4,000 are now on alert and could be mobilized in the coming weeks. 45 attacks have been foiled on French soil since 2017. 2 have occurred in 2024. Italy will implement security measures in the upcoming Easter period, announced the Interior Minister.
Abbiamo rafforzato misure di protezione, misure di vigilanza, di prevenzione che già avevamo, io ritengo, già molto alte dal 7 ottobre, allorquanto insomma gli scenari internazionali si sono in qualche modo complicati.
Austria, like Germany and Belgium, maintain its terrorist high alert level.
Völlig klar ist, dass aber auch nach solchen dramatischen Anschlägen es eine Nachschärfung, Sensibilisierung entsprechend durch die Behörden auch gibt. Faktum ist aber auch, dass es derzeit keine konkrete Bedrohung, aber eine latent erhöhte Gefährdung für Österreich gibt.
Spain maintains a level 4 out of 5 of terrorist threat established in June 2015. You can go to sleep in Brussels and wake up the next day in Prague on the newest European sleeper service. It offers cozy sleeper cabins.
It's not about suffering to save the planet, it's a better experience. No airports, no flights, you get to see where you're going, you have fun with your travelling companions, you arrive in the city centre, the journey is part of the experience.
The train passes through Amsterdam and Berlin, and the total journey is about 11 hours.
It was great. I left London at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, had lunch on the Eurostar to Brussels, had a wander in Brussels. We board the European sleeper in the evening, have a wonderful journey down the Elbe River Valley in the beautiful morning sun, and here I am in Prague still in the morning. As long as this train is affordable, which it is, people are going to use it.